Hello, so today you're going to create some artwork that's showing symmetry. And there are a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do it with pencil, or you could do it with marker, crayon, or cut paper. So I'm going to show you how to do it in pencil, how to do it with crayon, and how to do it with cut paper. So the first thing that you want to do is you need to decide what your subject matter is going to be. Is it going to be a simple design with lines and shapes? Is it going to look like something like a bug or something that is symmetrical? And once you've decided what your subject matter is going to be, you're going to draw half of whatever it is that you want it to be. So I'm going to fold my paper in half. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to have the fold here, and I'm going to do my drawing on this side of the paper. So I think I'll do, with this one, I'll do a butterfly. So I'm going to start with the head of the butterfly, and when I draw light till I get it right. Then I want you to go back over it and press hard and make a nice heavy pencil line. Also, your image needs to fill the paper, so don't draw something real small right here in the middle. So please notice I am drawing against the fold. So here's the fold line, there's the middle, and I'm only drawing half. Then you're going to open up your paper, and if you pressed hard enough with your pencil, you're going to fold it with your pencil on the inside now. So my pencil's on the inside of the fold, and then you're going to use a ruler to rub. And I want you to use a wooden ruler. You need to hold the ruler down by the bottom, not up here in the middle to where you're bending the ruler. You want to hold it down at the bottom. You want to press hard and rub back and forth, short strokes. It lightly transfers to the other side, and then you can trace it to make it equal and the same on both sides. Now wherever it didn't transfer very well, you just fold it back up and rub in that area again. And it lightly transfers so that you can have a symmetrical bug. Now this butterfly is pretty plain. I would like to put some things in on the wings. Alright, so that's how you would do it in pencil. So I would finish tracing this side with pencil, and then I would use any kind of media that I want, paint or drawing media, to color this in. And this is a nice symmetrical bug. Symmetry, it needs to be the same on both sides. If you wanted to do that in crayon, you'd do the same thing. You'd fold your paper in half. You could use your pencil first to kind of draw your designs that you want. This time I'm not going to make it a bug. I'm going to do some different kinds of designs. I'm drawing it in pencil first to get it the way that I want it, so if I make a mistake I can erase. Now with crayon, you could use any color of crayon that you like, any color at all. I tend to use black just so that you can see on the screen how easy this is. But you could use any color, so I could trace these in a variety of different colors. But when you trace with crayon, you want to push hard. And then just like with the pencil, you're going to open this up. You're going to fold it over, put the crayon on the inside, and using a ruler, you're going to rub to the other side. Short strokes, press hard, and it lightly transfers to the other side, and then you just trace. And remember, when you use colors, you need to do the same on both sides. So for it to be symmetry and symmetrical, you have to do the same on both sides. So what you do on this side is repeated on the other side. And then what might be nice with this is to paint this in with watercolor paint, or you could use marker, but just keep in mind wherever you're going to add the color, you would add, so if you were going to color this stripe yellow, you would color the same stripe over here yellow. And the final way that you could do a symmetrical project is with cut paper. So I'm going to show you how to do like a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern face. You could honestly do an insect, you could do a portrait of somebody, and it doesn't have to be just black and orange. It could be whatever 2 color papers you want, but you want to start with 2 colors, 2 papers that are the same size. So if you take a look here, my black paper is not the same size as my orange. So the first thing that I want to do is cut my orange to be the same size. Okay. Now I need to decide which paper is going to be the base paper, the paper that I glue everything to, and which paper is going to be glued on top of it. So I think I'm going to do my black paper. So I need to fold my black paper in half, and then I need to cut it in half. So I'm going to cut right up the middle. And this you won't use, so you can put that back in the scrap bins or the drawers. So now I'm going to draw my jack-o'-lantern. So I want a stem, and I want my jack-o'-lantern to be big and to take up a lot of space, so I'm going to come around. Now I'm drawing with a white crayon so you can see easily. You would probably draw with a pencil, that way you could erase if you made a mistake. So here's my pumpkin shape. So I need 1 eye to make 2 eyes. So I'm going to do a happy eye. I need half a nose because it goes in the middle, and then half a mouth. Okay, so now we're going to cut these shapes out. You need to stay on the line and cut them all out in one piece. Okay, so when I do the eye, I'm going to come in from the side and cut a slit in, and then cut around the eye all in one piece. And then when I glue this down, you won't be able to see that slit or seam. Okay, so then with any kind of thing, when you're doing cut paper to make it symmetrical, you want to lay all the pieces down like a puzzle, back the way that they go. So that then what you're going to do is start flipping things like a book. So I start on the outside shape and work your way in. So I'm going to take my glue and put glue on the black. And then you're going to flip it like you're turning a page to the book. You're going to lift this up, flip it, and line up the edges of the black to the edges of the orange. Okay, now we want the big part, so we worked on our way outside, so now the inside, we want the big part on this side. So I'm going to move these pieces out of the way, and so this is where it needs to be. This big part needs to be on the orange side here, so I need to flip it this way, put glue on it, and then we're going to flip it going this way. Okay. And you flip it going this way, and you line up the middle line. Should be a nice straight line. So I lined up the top edge of my stem with the inside edge. So now here I lay my eye back down, put some glue on it, and I flip it over to this side, and I try to find the same spacing. And look, my seam here where I cut in, you can't see it anymore. So now here's my nose. Put some glue on my nose, and then I flip that. And remember, we're keeping a straight line down the middle, so when I flip this, I need to create a straight line with no overlapping. So I'm not gluing this overlapping into here. I'm trying to create a nice straight line right down the middle. And then for the mouth, lay the mouth in and do a shape or glue line, and then flip it like the page to a book, creating a straight line down the middle again. Now, if you don't want to do something that actually is just like a jack-o'-lantern face or a bug like this, you could just do shapes. So if you had your half sheet, you would draw some simple shapes. Now, this is like a wavy line, but I have to draw 2 of them next to each other to create a shape to cut out. Okay, now I'm going to cut each of these shapes out. So when I cut in, just like for the slit on the eye of the jack-o'-lantern, and you cut around the shape. The shape needs to stay in one piece. Okay, so now You're going to put glue on the negative, the background piece. And then you're going to flip it over and line up the straight sides of the black paper to the straight sides of the orange paper. Okay. Then you take, just like with the jack-o'-lantern, you take all your pieces and you lay them down like a puzzle. And then you're going to put glue on top of the shape, and then you're going to flip it like the page to a book. And no longer are you worried about that straight line down the middle, but you are worried about spacing them out equally so that it's the same on both sides. So you don't want this heart close or overlapping the shape or way up here. You have to look at the space around the heart, how much space is there, and you're trying to leave that same amount of space on this side. So even though this might be a little simpler than the jack-o'-lantern, neatness still matters, and I will be looking to see that you flipped the shapes and that you place them fairly close to where they should be when you flip them. So I'm looking at this space here, that it lines up with that space. This orange space is the same as this black space there. And that's how you create a cut paper symmetrical design.